Did your character take a sip from a glass that was poisoned? Are you the target of the enemy wizard's roaring fireball spell and need to dodge out of the way? Have you stepped on a pressure plate causing the ceiling to come crashing down? Uh-oh, it's time to make a saving throw. A saving throw is a character's attempt at resisting something bad. Certain spells, traps, attacks, and conditions may require the players or their opponents to make a saving throw. The Dungeon Master, or DM, will let the players know when to make a saving throw and which of the 6 ability scores it calls upon. The success or failure of a saving throw is determined by the difficulty class, or DC. The higher the DC, the harder it is to succeed. If the target of an effect rolls the same as or higher than the given DC, they succeed the saving throw. Results lower than the DC are a failure. In the Dragons of Stormwreck Isle adventure, the party comes across some drowned sailors upon arriving at Dragon's Rest. These undead nightmares will be waiting on the beach, ready to fight, and if your party wants to continue to explore, they'll need to defeat the zombies. If you have the lovable Hill Dwarf Cleric in your party, there's a solid bet one of these zombies is going to take some Sacred Flame, a spell the cleric can cast, to the face. Sacred Flame requires the target to make a dexterity saving throw. To do this, the DM will roll a d20 on behalf of the targeted zombie, add the relevant ability modifier, and try to roll higher than the cleric's DC. The cleric's DC is provided on the character sheet. Many spells require a target to make a saving throw to avoid some or all of a spell's effects. The spell will reference the ability the target uses for the save and what happens on a success or failure. In the example we just mentioned, Sacred Flame requires a dexterity saving throw to avoid all damage. There are other factors that can aid or hinder your chances at succeeding on a saving throw, and these can be found on your character sheet. Let's go back to our Hill Dwarf Cleric friend. Dwarves are a hardy lot and naturally resistant to being poisoned, so if your DM asks the Hill Dwarf to make a saving throw against being poisoned, they'll get to roll with advantage. Having advantage means you roll your d20 twice and use the higher roll. On the flip side, however, there might be instances where you'll have to roll with disadvantage, which, you guessed it, means you roll 2 d20s and use the lower roll. The effects of a successful or failed save will be detailed with the spell or ability that called for it. It's important to remember, though, that a failed saving throw doesn't mean certain death, and often a failed save is even more interesting to watch play out than a successful one. And we can't win them all, right? Saving throws are an exciting part of the game, and like all of D&D, are meant to be fun. Nothing beats the thrill of narrowly dodging that dragon's breath attack, or waiting to see if that goblin fell for your tricky illusion spell. May all your dice roll high, and happy adventuring!